been long on my mind to make a project like this. Uh, you see, I'm a psychiatrist, and not to seem like an arse to my patients and people around me, they create a sense of boredom I didn't exactly study 7 years for. Case studies why I decided to get a doctorate and receive a PhD in psychology, writing about people, reading, hell, even watching people going about their day. Everyone is different. Their routine. No one is the same, which is what I love. Some people more interesting than others, more than the previous. Some people who are so intense and complex. I don't care for those with basic disorders or brain patterns. No people like Charles Manson or Charlie Bronson, the Krays, Al Capone, Ed Gein, Clanton's gang even. How these people seen as mentally messed up have all inspired stories, made into books, films, and series made about them. There are twice, if not triple, the amount of characters based off criminals than the criminals themselves. Sorry, I'm rambling on too long. I forgot to breathe. I don't even know if that makes sense. I found a case in forums on this Texan who was actually local to me and where my family came from, what drew me to him. His story, which I will tell as such, is fascinating. Columbus Pott, who passed away from multiple organ failure due to sepsis on the 29th of February, he grew notorious throughout the underworld of crime under the alias Mr. Red. In the future, Saint Red, but I'll get into that later. It was gained through his vibrant red suits and super bright ginger hair. The first record was written relatively recently, following the accounts of what led up to his crimes. The accounts start with when he had just moved. He had met his partner, Mrs. Fran. The simple life. Don't like hot, dry weather, and living in Dallas was big and rough and rude, so I thought, what better place than here? A good group of friends would be nice as well. I heard people already know me around here. Sorry to recognize you from. Oh yeah, the soup kitchen. Oh yeah, here's a 10 miss for all the shopping. Thank you, lovely. What a strange memory. He lived in Billingshurst for a good few years and had built quite a reputation for fixing stuff for the townsfolk and giving to charity among those stereotypical good deeds. He grew to become Miss Fran's best friend and best customer. He gained a reputation as bright as gold. Mr. Red found himself amongst people who heard his stories, fascinated with his work, treated him like an artist on tour. People across the world travelled to see him, masquerades hosted to auction his works, which, as you probably guessed, were, well, I have no idea if you guessed, but were his victims, mummified, dressed, and posed. You didn't have to do this. Oh, it's nothing. I saw it was breaking. I didn't want it to say Will Fanny Shop, because that takes a whole new meaning to your shop. Anyway, I made you a cup of tea. Glenn? How's the tea? It's lovely. Fits perfectly. Hello, Missy. Hello. And you, Cole? How are you? All good. Been busy. Columbus. Could I get you to help with the Mayfair? It's really important. People wrote in a poll that you'd be excellent as a guest of honor. You'd host games, judge competitions, and help raffle the prizes. No stress if you're unable to. Oh, no, no. That's great. I'd help it to do that. I've always enjoyed this fun tradition you Brits have. I'll bring my fudge and wine. Excellent. Shayu, this was the moment where his life was going to spiral. After 30 years of building a following, biddings forced upon the homeless and lowly criminals, he had not realized how recognizable he was. Under the red suits and newspaper cut letters, he became regular to the shop Miss Fran owned, with her suspicions simmering, then losing all of it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. She seen him in the newspaper, not as Columbus Pond, but as someone much darker. All memory of Mr. Red, whom she recognized him as, became buried, gaslit into being fake. Resurfacing this whole story, this whole story right here, would break through criminal history. He was running a town and ran the world's largest underground. I don't even know. It's like he led protests across the world, leading a church still here today. He got away with over 100 murders before his arrest, keeping each individual perfectly preserved in a tub. Little did he know this Mayfair. I think this Mayfair may have been the start to an end. Sold to Fox for 2,500 pounds. Now, we've all been waiting for this piece, and this piece shall be and is being bought in by the very man who created it. Mr. Red, would you like to explain? Many of you know my work. Inspired by it, perhaps. Many people I know have tried to replicate my work with their own style, which, as an artist, I appreciate. This is my 6th piece, of many more which to come. This is my biggest, my most detailed piece yet. I wasn't planning to sell this one, and wanted to keep it for myself, but y'all wouldn't forgive me for that, would you? My masterpiece, the ballet dancers, where I have used the full bodies. Passion does not come close to what I have for these pieces. What should we start with? Anyone will? 500. $650, $750, all the way up to near 6,500. Mr. Red was notorious, even through the British Underground. It's honestly astounding what we can do. And back then, that shit would buy you a decent flat. Now, this was probably the only serious crime he committed on his own. Well, where he murdered and mummified and trafficked the corpses for profit. He was never caught. Well, he was caught, but not for another 14 years yet. A lot of people read the stories and only gave their impressions as a heartless man who would kill for profit. No. As I stated earlier, he was a handyman and a bit of a philanthropist. He did also rob places and was damned good at it. And pinned them on people. That's only relevant to his arrest, which I'll get to later. As Columbus Pod, he worked as a freelance handyman, evidently. People called him up and with his free time was happy to do it and gained trust from everyone until he was driven out for becoming the paramour of 3 women. And even man, good man. He moved to an island off the coast of Wales with Miss Fran, who subsequently became his partner. They married. In technical terms. They married. Their life started anew and was happy for a while. They owned a shop, a apothecary. Funny, isn't it? Where they sold food, utensils, drinks and ointments. Still didn't stop the crime lord Mr. Red near soon. Saint Red, the devil who led the underworld. I'm starting a group for men who feel betrayed. Oh, that's nice. What he went through. What he went through. You need help as much as I. It has changed you. Not the best thing. You've become distant. I know. That's why I'm getting help. This group will be great. I'm writing books. I'm giving lectures. Really? Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to know about my story, and I want to write about my projects and betrayal. My friends, my brethren, today the start of a new journey has begun. No hatred, no betrayal. We have those who are loyal today in your pews, those who are not, knelt right here, amongst the presence of our Lord, who has given me the names of the unholy. Alan Smith, 60 years old, caught with doubt. Plans to rat me out to the police. Haley Alley, breach of faith, questioning the authority of God, questioning my legitimacy. Dave Schmidt, who thinks he can copy the image I worked hard to build. My reputation. My word. I am not to be questioned. No one shall ever try and rival me. I'm sorry. I'm just so inspired by you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. And my sins, my pride, my envy. Please, I atone. David, thank you. I'm glad you atone. But that's not enough. You disrupt my flow of power. You could have sat there like a good boy, sat there and listened. But you succumbed to your sins. Now, these will make a mantelpiece, wouldn't you say, ladies and gentlemen? He was ruthless. A power was born within him, where subjects of his would love him unconditionally. It was rare for people to go against his will, especially through malice and doubts. People were starting to question, though, about him, his job, how he makes a stable income. Oh, the people in his town. although it was not too short-lived. It became fewer and fewer over time. Where, although it would resurface against a few times, the influence of Saint Red, as he's been dubbed now, had grown significantly. Places like the Philippines, New Zealand, and significant masses in Europe and European countries, and the Americas, and in the Australian regions. There's three major riots, many town-sized protests and marches as well, in the name of Saint Red, their messiah. It's crazy, really. I don't know how he does it. Those marches, all for the Saint Red, seems a bit excessive, don't you think? Well, people did it all the time. Marches, parades, protests, riots. Whether it does good or damages things, that's always been a part of history. I mean, this Mr. Red has a presence and wants to spread his word, doesn't he? He creeps me out with those statues. People think he was part of a mob. Nah, no chance. I think he's just lucky. It's a performance, 100%. You think? Mm-hmm. No doubt, Miss France, suspicions of her husband grew again. Although different, he goes away a lot. She wakes up with him missing almost constantly. She would find new tools that replace tools needing of replacing. Weirdly stained clothes which would walk through smells protruding from the shed. Oh, she wouldn't nag. She wouldn't question. Each time she tried to gaslight herself, she grew tired of not knowing and checked his shed out of painful curiosity. Your shed stinks. Sorry? You didn't look in there, did you, Missy? Look at me, Missy. Missy, look at me. Missy, there's a reason I don't like people getting into there. Missy, calm down. Missy. There was bones, a gun, blood. You're not Mr. Red, are you? That explains a lot. Come on. Stay away. Stay away. What? No. I thought you were concerned about the fact I do taxidermy. I've been putting it off and haven't done it in ages at all. Also, a client wanted a rotting looking dog. Neighbors were sticky body bags. I was worried you were into bad things. Miss Fran had such a hard time. Her and Columbus were not the same after Columbus, as we can infer, was very worried that people were going to find out he was behind the riots, murders and trafficking. At this time, the police were coming close to his detainment. Investigations led to Saint Red living in England, but not specified where though. New Scotland Yard and MI5 were involved with the cases against Miss Saint Red. I swear I'm not sleeping on this. If I crack this, I'd finally retire. Yeah, that would be nice. Would you finally take that trip around Americas? How'd you know? Not exactly a well-kept secret. It's all you talk about. I'm going to get a flight, hire a bike, and tour the Americas, blah blah blah. That's good you're excited. We're getting close. Speculation the suspect used to live around Billingshurst area. Where is he now? Wales. Somewhere there. I want to be there just to catch him. Get you that retirement you deserve, sir. For years, the police and the government, other governmental officials were on the tail of Mr. Red. Recent to the events of Miss Fran finding the secret in the shed, the police finally found the general location of the suspect. Funnily enough, Columbus had no idea at all. He never thought, never cared. His ego got the better of him. His crimes soon came to an end. But he didn't even get arrested for the reasons you might have thought. You're going out now? Couldn't you wait for payday? Well, I'm going to have to go now. Payday is ages away. And I'm sure we have enough. I'm so sure. And don't even think of your little hobby. You need food and stuff for the baby when it comes. So hurry. Oh well, damn it all. Alright, don't move. In the name of Saint Red. Now I'm going to take what I want from this here shop, and if anyone tries to stop me, you can be thankful you only get crippled. Get on the ground, Columbus. You are Columbus. Get on the ground, Columbus. You are Columbus Pot, if I be so bold to assume. Yes, you are. We're investigators from New Scotland Yard. From now on, we'll be asking you the questions. Take the rest of these people in the van, and we'll deal with the Saint Red here. Mr. Pot, here's your coffee. Well, thank you. Wouldn't have thought I'd be arrested for armed robbery. Neither did we. Thought we'd catch you in the midst of a murder. Now, you've been at this for a long time, haven't you? About 20 odd years. Oh, longer. Been around for 30 years. I robbed places before I started the killings. I knew what I needed for what I created. I would say I'm more of an artist, albeit through immoral ways. I need to get my art across. I chose this act of Mr. Red because I knew police would get involved. This is why I didn't bother with regular society. People are so negative and picky, can't create any thought. Create anything. Thought the best way was to find a career amongst the invalids, the people who would actually appreciate a man with a dream. We don't need a monologue. So you robbed shops and murdered 103 people. 105. 103. Two of your victims survived and gave statements. I'm assuming you don't check if they're dead, or even count your victims. It's true that Columbus Pot had a kill streak of 103 people. Two of his victims survived through what can only be described as sheer dumb luck. The first was Samantha Lewin, a school cleaner who got offered a lift by Columbus and was brutally attacked. She gave her reports among many witnesses whom had seen Columbus in action. His transcript is the only available source, and a brief of it has Miss Lewin explaining how she was attacked when Mr. Pott was giving her a lift. She passed out from her injuries and was taken to a landmass that stank of rotten flesh and mould inside the South Downs. She ran away from there after she woke up, finding no one except a couple of dead bodies. Her and another victim started a campaign for survivors of gruesome attacks and crimes. Columbus was tried, and without any surprise was convicted within the day he was tried.
Columbus Pott, you were tried within the Crown Court. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honour. I wish to say, I only plead guilty for my own safety, and to tell you I wouldn't have done this if society was accepting of people who had minds like I do. The following year, he was interviewed for a feature in the film based around his life and crimes to which he was glad to share his opinions on. My thoughts of the movie, in fact, would have been said differently in the case as I found it slanderous. As it's fresh in your mind, would you like to review this movie, Mr. Pott?
Oh, it was wonderful. I couldn't put a number on it. You didn't hold back at all, did you?
Well, of course not. So, I'll put it as a 5-star then?
Absolutely. I feel honored that I inspired a film like this. It's like having Hitchcock write a Psycho about me.
Well, I'm honored to be compared to a legend like him. Do you still have the urge to kill? If that is too much to ask of you.
I never had urges or feelings
towards the killings. Like, I've never had an urge to kill someone, or a feeling of that matter.
In fact, I vomited most of the time. I was anxious every time. It never got easier, let alone being an easy task at all. I felt encouraged and motivated through people praising me, praising my art. I was angry at those who had wronged me when I ran the church. I can never be truly sincere about any apology to those families who I ruined through my own selfish deeds. Killing is never truly easy. Not stopping, starting, having an extreme feeling toward it. I wouldn't have done it if the world appreciated me for the life I wished to lead beforehand. I wanted my films, my art, my creations to be admired. Only by the underground means was I appreciated.
Oh, well, that truly is understandable. From one creator to who could have flopped, you helped spread that message, stopping people like me committing to acts that would have gotten me in trouble. Now, for the last question I have for you. What message do you have for the crew and audience watching my film?
Be grateful I'm stuck in here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the theater watching this film. I would consider this film an hour and 40 minutes of advice. Push harder. Be stronger. If you don't feel appreciated by society, do something to make them appreciate your work. Push your projects. Be stubborn. Weeks after this interview, he was brutally attacked and passed away in a hospital due to his organs failing, due to sepsis from his wounds. Columbus Pott, the famed Saint Red, the South Downs Devil, the Corpse Cult Pope, had karma thrown at him a little too late. Thank you all for listening. I'm glad you stayed. For more gruesomely wonderful and extraordinary cases, from myths to true crime, follow